ET Brand Equity presents ETMartequity videos powered by CleverTap, where industry leaders deep dive into the key MarTech trends and opportunities that will shape the domain in the coming decade. I'm Shilpa Ratnam and welcome to our first session. That's unleashing the power of vernacular and localized engagement in a diverse digital landscape. And who better to delve into this than our esteemed speakers, Nakul Kapur, who's the Chief Product and Growth Officer, MX Player, and Anand Jain, Co-founder and Chief Product Officer, CleverTap. Hello and welcome to both the CPOs. Very good morning to you two.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. And now for like a quick introduction to the work the two of you are doing. Brands are integrating vernacular components into their tech platforms to connect with regional audiences and tap into opportunities across sectors. This helps them to increase their reach in tier 2, 3 and beyond cities and boost the market share. It is essential for brands to unleash the power of vernacularism and localized targeting while engaging with customers, as it helps to A. connect with customers with enhanced personalization, B. remove language barriers, C. build trust and relatability with customers. I'll stop with that though, I think we can go till Z. Vernacularism and localized engagement with customers is not just a strategy for brands to increase their penetration across cities, but is also a powerful tool for personalizing and fostering one-to-one tailored experiences for customers that build brand love, loyalty and advocacy. As we deep dive into the OTT and media and entertainment sector, MX Player has built a strong association with everytainment as it caters to everyone, the way it matters the most when it comes to entertainment, where 1 in every 2 smartphones in India has the MX Player app installed, as MX Player caters to the masses with an emotion of free content. AVOD streaming business. It engages with over millions of monthly active users with content in 15 plus regional languages. And this is really surprising to me as well, Nakul. I knew it was popular. This popular, congratulations.
Thank you.
Starting off with you, Anand, what importance does vernacular targeting hold in today's globalized yet localized market landscape?
I think we are a country of 1.4 billion people, no surprises there, and not everyone speaks English, is not comfortable with Hindi in some places, etc. I think vernacular or regionalizing content becomes very, very important in that case. How do you expand the reach beyond just the tier 1 cities? How do you go tier 2, tier 3, and just even to villages, rural areas? You need to not only produce content but also speak to them whenever, as a brand, you're reaching out to them. So if you're sending a message to your users, or if you're showing them something like subscription options or an ad, like it has to be localized, it has to be in the vernacular language just to make them feel very comfortable.
And that's where you come in with your personalization. Nakul, how is MX Player building its reach and enhancing engagement via vernacular content?
Yeah, so we've been, like you said, very popular among the masses. We've been in 1 and 2 smartphones in India forever. Our motto for bringing out content has been to reach out to as many audiences as possible. Thanks to CleverTap, we reach out to multiple users in 15 regional languages. We have content across from north to south, east to west. The objective remains the same. How do you reach out to the users in the best possible way? And that customization and personalization always helps us. So yeah, that's the strategy we follow.
And you have a lot of personalized show recommendations as well, right?
Of course, yeah. So we have content, like I said, across multiple languages. And we basically do continuous experiments to optimize for enhanced conversion across our user journey. Like Anand mentioned, we are a very heterogeneous audience across the country. And you want to reach out to everyone in the best possible way. Something that will appeal to, let's say, tier 1 user in Gurgaon. May have a very different appeal than somebody in, let's say, Maharashtra. And which is what we try to do. We are extremely personalized way to reach out to all of these users.
Okay, so that's the secret behind, penetrating half the market already. Anand, how does the rise of localized targeting influence customer engagement for brands?
Yeah, I think when you reach out to users in their language, when produce content in the vernacular language, the audience on the other side or the person on the other side feels that you're talking to them one-on-one. Like, it's completely tailored for me. And when I become the consumer, there's a lot of science that goes behind making it happen, right? Like, what kind of shows did you watch previously? What language were they in? Do you switch languages in the app? And there are multiple things, right? But the advantage of that, or the biggest benefit of that, is that the person feels that this app or this content is talking to me, and that builds loyalty, and that builds trust. And trust and loyalty are the reasons people keep coming back for more and more. So it increases your retention. It makes everyone look good in the company, because hey, we have fantastic retention cohorts. That means people come back for more content.
Nakul, whenever we talk about regional content, vernacular content, people just assume it is because you want to put out that kind of content. But now we get all these insights into it, right? How that sort of personalization message is to make people feel included, and there's a sort of emotional bond as well formed with your customer. Now, what are the insights that you have from customers regards to their localized content consumption patterns that has helped you strategize customer engagement for MX?
So I'll give you one big insight that probably answers this question in one shot. We send out notifications in 15 regional languages, right? Instead of, like, you look at India as an audience, you don't send out notification either in English or in Hindi only. If I reach out to a user in down south in their own language, I'll have a much better chance of converting this user to my audience, right? And the app market, or specifically video app market, runs on retention. Acquisition of users is a very expensive process, but we continuously have been believed that if you invest in retention more, that will have a far more impact. So there's something called a halo effect, where you get the user onto the platform for something specific, and then the user consumes bunch of other things. And that's the secret sauce of doing personalization and reaching out to user in their own audience, in their own language.
Thank you so much for that insight. And Anand, what are some of the mistakes that brands make in trying to localize their engagement with the customers?
I think the biggest mistake I've seen is the brands treat all of them as, it's funny to say this, rows in the database, like they're all the same, which is not the case, right? So not only is the language misfire, but also the time of the day. Again, there are many Indias within an India, and that's not just true for India, but globally also, right? There might be different watching patterns, right? When people watch content, consume content, some might be consuming it on the way to commute, some might just be doing it, during evening hours, some might be, doing it lunch hours. I do not know, right? Like the mistake is that, hey, we're going to send out this thing, batch and blast to all the users, and hope for the best. So personalization to me is also like, what's the right time to send to this user? Are we sending the right content? Is it in the language that they prefer? Like, is it like the next episode of the series that they've been watching that we should send out, right? Is it in the form factor? Like, for example, I have both a desktop as well as a phone. Where do I send this message? So I think it's like going down to that level of personalization, where you have to put in a lot of science behind, what's the right way, what's the right time, what's the right content, and who do I send it to?
Yes, absolutely data driven there, and you've been doing a fabulous job there. Now I want to pose a question to the two of you. As we look into the next era of consumer engagement, where do you see the future of vernacularism and its role in hyper-personalized content?
You want to take first?
Yeah, I can go first. I think it's with language, you have this power, like of targeting this audience that was born with it, like so there is nothing more intrinsic to us than our own language, the language we speak, the language we think in. And in a country as big as India, these become mini countries, right? So like people who speak, like say Punjabi or Gujarati, might be like hundreds of millions of people. And when you reach out to them in that language, you are actually, it's not just one big country. So I think the future is going to go even deeper. We have seen some extremely large companies, who've come to India also trying to leverage this fact that it's not the same thing for everyone. And brands who do this will get better, user love. They will have more loyal users. They will have better valuation, I would say.
I'll add another point to all of this. I think I completely agree with what Anand just said. With the geo effect, in the last 6-7 years. We have got hundreds of millions of users who've started using internet in various ways. As and how the economy grows, there'll be another layer of hundreds of millions of users who are elevating up and starting using internet, which is where vernacularism helps a lot. This is not just about consuming OTT content, it's also about consuming short form content, consuming content related to cooking, related to tourism, related to a bunch of other categories. And that will open various multi-billion-dollar businesses in the future.
Well, nothing like speaking to people in the language they know and love,
Sure.
right? And thank you so much for talking to us today. It's been a very enlightening conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.